We're halfway through August, the heat of summer, here on the weekend, and I thought I'd ask you how you like ChatGPT 5.0. Have you tried it? Do you like it? It had a rough ride, didn't it? And I'm not going to actually talk too much about ChatGPT 5.0, but I am going to give you a tip on how to learn how to prompt better with ChatGPT 5.0 using OpenAI's Cookbook, and I'll explain it in a second. But ChatGPT rolled out a little over a week ago, and they had a little problem with the rollout. 700 million people tried to use it. The first few hours it rolled out, it melted the system down. They had to choke it down. They had to restrict access. It didn't really roll out the way they wanted to. Now they've mostly fixed all those problems, and so it's at full speed today. It's funny though that people didn't like ChatGPT 5.0 because they removed some of the personality or some of the emotional connection from the model. Because Chat 4.0 was very friendly, and Chat 4.0 constantly gave you positive feedback and told you how great you were and how great your work was and how lucky the world was to have your genius. And 5.0 doesn't have that attitude. 5.0 is much drier. And so people are starting to lose their mind. They lost their best friend in 4.0, and they mandated that OpenAI let them have access back to 4.0 because they were just so lonely and forgotten. But that all aside, it's interesting. The other thing with I'd say with Chat GPT 5.0 is critics are really disappointed that this isn't the AGI they were hoping for, the super all-knowing, powerful machine that we haven't quite achieved it yet. But I don't think OpenAI was trying to suggest that's what we're going to get with ChatGPT 5.0. And I think instead, what they really did is kind of change the plumbing and the way the model works so that they can really have a lot of future growth. And so it was more a technical kind of, an internal improvement, but it is a heck of a lot faster. Boy, ChatGPT 5.0 is fast. It has a point of view, meaning it has a certain taste and a point of view. It lies less. I think there's 25% less hallucinations. It reasons a heck of a lot better, and it can now do multiple things within a single task, which is great. So those are all huge improvements. But what I want to talk about today is when I was just trying to learn about ChatGPT 5.0, and I was, familiarizing myself with the model, and I was reading up on it, I came across what is called a cookbook. So OpenAI publishes a cookbook of how to use ChatGPT. And so August 7th, they published I'll show it to you, they published as part of their cookbook, ChatGPT prompting guide. And I was excited. I'm like, oh, right. It's all about prompt engineering. I'm going to learn how to prompt and be a genius with ChatGPT 5.0. And so I studied this guide, and we're going to spend a ton of time in it, but it was very, very dry and very technical. It wasn't as, conversational as we would hope. And so I was a little disappointed that I didn't get as much out of it as I wanted to. Now, however, so I read the guide, I did my research on ChatGPT 5.0, and I said, gosh, there's probably some really good stuff in that. I don't understand what the heck they're saying, and they're certainly not making it easy for me to understand. So I made a copy of the guide, and I uploaded it into my ChatGPT. I said, ChatGPT, this is probably a wonderful guide that your company, OpenAI, put out for my benefit, but I don't know if I'm getting the most out of it. Can you please explain to me, can you just give me some really easy strategies that I can use and explain it to me in 8th grade level? And so ChatGPT gave me eight strategies to use from this prompting guide. And they were really basic. If you want to get really in-depth, thorough strategies, you can go to the guide. I will put a link to the guide below in my notes. And so if you want to go to it, you certainly can. But here are 8 strategies. Here's what they recommend when you're doing prompting. And these are going to be really simple to understand. The first one is when you tell ChatGPT something. Here are some 8 strategies. One is role prompting. And role prompting is when you tell it to act as something. And it might be, in our case, act as a mortgage advisor who specializes in first-time home buyers. Whatever, act as whatever you want it to act as a math wizard, act as an economist, act as a world-class parent, act as teacher of the year. So role prompting, tell it who it is. The second strategy is called chain of thought prompting. And chain of thought prompting is explain step by step. So whatever you're asking it to do, give me a step-by-step explanation. For example, explain step by step how to calculate a buyer's debt to income ratio, right? Step by step. So that's chain of thought prompting. The next one is called few shot prompting. And what that really has to do is giving it a tone of voice to speak in, right? And so you might say, here, you might give it an example. Here are 2 LinkedIn posts. Now write one for me in the same tone, right? Like and you know, we use this a lot when ChatGPT first came out, and we would have we'd have an article or a post or something. We just for fun and go write it as though Shakespeare wrote it, you know, in the tone of Shakespeare or in the tone of whoever you wanted to have fun with. But the other way you just do it, if you have somebody you really respect, you respect their writing, their thought process, their structure and syntax, all that, then ask ChatGPT to write in the same tone as that person and give them an example. And that's called few shot prompting. Next is self-critique and refinement. This is a really good one. I really recommend this. Is whenever you ask it to do something, ask it how it can be better. See, one of the things we tell our AI tools, we tell them too much, and we don't ask them enough. So we might tell them, or say, please do this for me, please create this thing for me, please create this PowerPoint. But the next step would be how can we make this PowerPoint better? How could it be more engaging? How could it get more attention? And so that's have it self-critique and refine. Have it give you recommendations. Number 5 is persona pattern. And what that is like, and what that is when you direct it to always respond in a certain way for a certain type of post. Let's say you do posts on LinkedIn. You might go, hey, when we do LinkedIn posts, always write in a friendly tone, or you might say, for example, for this project, always respond like a friendly, data-driven coach. So you're giving it its persona. Here's who I want you to be: a friendly, knowledgeable entity. Number 6 is context building. Context building is pretty simple. It's when you actually give it a set of information to base its content on, or whatever it's developing. For example, in our world, we might go, hey, here's a summary of current mortgage rates. Please use it to create an email to clients. So we gave it the data, and then we said, do something with this data. So here's data, do something. That's context building. Style and font. 7 is style and format controls. Those are super obvious, and an example of this is write a 200-word blog post in bullet points using a confident but warm tone. You just gave it a style and a format, how long, bullet points, in a confident tone. So super simple. And the 8th one, the last one, that ChatGPT gleaned from this cookbook, the GPT-5 prompting guide, is goal first prompting. And this is also super helpful. And that's when you simply tell your AI tool what you're trying to achieve, and then you go about how to do it. So you might go, hey, I want to create a short video script that explains adjustable rate mortgages to new buyers, right? So you say the I want is the start, and then the how comes later, but you start by I want to. And that's always a great thing to start with, I want to, And so I thought this was super helpful. 5.0 is interesting. It's fast. It's super fast. There's some quirks to it. It's a whole new language we all have to learn. I will end with this though. On this, Saturday in August, I'll end with this. The best way to master your AI tools is usually asking your AI tools what to do, right? So if you want to get better at, it's the trendy to call it prompt engineering. If you want to get better at prompting, ask your AI tool, if it's ChatGPT, ask it, how can I give you a better prompt? How can I prompt better? And you know what I actually do, interestingly? I oftentimes will ask ChatGPT to help me draft prompts that I use in other AI tools, that I use in Gemini 2.5 or Perplexity, but I have Chat actually help me craft the prompt. And you can do that in any AI tool, but just ask it, how can I ask you better questions? How can I give you better prompts? And it will actually train you. The other thing is, I think you really get a lot of lift when you start interacting with your AI tools audibly, verbally. I think that you get a little bit more depth of the conversation with that tool. It understands you a little bit better, and you're not as restricted to a word count or being frustrated by how fast or slow you type. So try that. But anyway, that's it. A little off topic today, a little low key, just talking about ChatGPT. Give 8 prompts. I'll put a link to this below. I did also do a LinkedIn post on this. I post frequently on AI tools that I think can help mortgage or real estate professionals. If you get a chance, check out my LinkedIn. With that, I hope you're having a great weekend. I look forward to talking to you again soon. Thanks so much.